live filming from Times Square in New York City, everybody. Yeah.
Welcome, welcome for all of our viewers joining us, not only in Times Square, but live from around the country. We're so excited to have you here with us.
And my name is Adam Schefter. This is Robin Arzón. And we're here today to share something that's very close to our hearts, which is getting folks to take the One Pledge, to screen themselves and their families for type 1 diabetes.
Join us in taking the One Pledge today. You can go to theonepledge.com and make sure you get those cameras out and scan that QR code, and that will take you to the screen to pledge. For the folks here in the crowd, we have pledge stations. So if you are here live in Times Square, I want you to take yourself over to the One Pledge station and go ahead and start that screening process today.
And once you've pledged, please follow through and get yourself and your family screened. While type 1 diabetes can't be prevented, it can be detected through early screenings. By taking the step to have our children, family members, or even ourselves screened for type 1 diabetes, we may give ourselves more time to prepare and plan for the future.
We have an incredible hour coming up.
Yes, we do.
I think you are going to be very, very excited by our programming and our special guests. This is a cause that's very personal to me, and Adam and I would love to share our stories and demonstrate our connection to type 1. I live for the moments when we turn can't into can. Let's smash the myths around type 1 so people can be empowered in their care. When I was diagnosed as an adult in my early 30s, I had no clue that adults could even be diagnosed with type 1. I thought it was a childhood condition. I'm in my early 30s. I didn't even know that this was still a thing. I was feeling lethargic, frequent thirst, frequent urination, I had weight loss. My mother, who's a doctor, was like, you know, all of these signs are pointing to type 1. So make an appointment with an endocrinologist and get blood work. And it was that appointment that really changed the trajectory of my life. There are a lot of emotions that surround any kind of medical diagnosis. But the more I educated myself and the more I continued to bet on myself, I realized I'm not just gonna survive, I'm gonna thrive. Your mom doesn't need to be a doctor like mine is in order for you to feel empowered. Now we are taking the power back in screening and testing earlier on. Blood tests to let you know what your risk is for living with type 1 is important, because then you can make educated decisions with your medical team about what the appropriate next step is. I find that huge. I would have loved to have that. I often tell myself when I'm embarking on something new, start before you're ready. There's never a good time to get uncomfortable, but I think it's applicable here with, you know, early screening and detection, because there's never really gonna be a good time, but what if right now is the time? Step into your power and get informed. We've come so far. So I remain committed to the journey that we're all on together. It can only get better. When it comes to type 1 diabetes, the more you know, the more you can do. So take the One Pledge and do more to take charge of your health. I'm honored to be a spokesperson for Sanofi and the One Pledge movement.
All right, we all have our own stories, but it is very powerful to hear the stories of others going through their own version of this. And in your case, Robin, you're a star athlete and instructor. Can you tell me a bit about what it was like to receive your T1D diagnosis and the challenges that you've had to overcome since then?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for allowing me to share my story. I think in sharing our stories, we create connection. And I really believe in owning the pen to the story that we're writing. And that includes my T1D diagnosis. It is a 24/7 tightrope walk. It was a steep learning curve, and it certainly came as a shock. I really didn't know anything about T1D. I didn't know about the decisions that I would have to make in pretty quick succession after my diagnosis. I'm an ultramarathoner, I'm an athlete, and I was on the eve of a race. And very quickly, in the few weeks before an ultramarathon, I had to mobilize a medical care team and make some pretty significant life-altering decisions. And if I had known about something, I didn't know about screening. I didn't know what an endocrinologist was. I was really uninformed. So I'm grateful to partner with the team here on taking the One Pledge, because I really feel that the more we can spread education and awareness, the more we're going to empower ourselves in owning the pen to the story that we're writing, even if that story happens to include T1D. I know that you have a familial connection to T1D. Adam is married to a type 1 warrior. Let's take a look.
Shari is the strongest person I know. What I see her go through on a daily basis takes incredible strength, determination, patience, traits that are greater than the ones that I have by a long shot. Shari and I went on a blind date, probably not knowing everything that we were getting into.
2 kids, 5 dogs later. Type 1 diabetes is on my mind 24 hours a day. It's like being on a roller coaster. Every day is different, and it affects everybody in my life. I can't walk my dogs without looking at my numbers, making sure I ate something before. It's something that changes your life forever.
There was a time I walked into the bathroom. I come home and Shari was sprawled across the bathroom floor. And here I am telling the strongest person I know, we have to get you to the hospital, and she's fighting me on it. I'm not going to the hospital. I'm not going to the hospital. Well, I overruled her for, I think, the first and only time in our relationship. And I said, you're going. You don't want to find out that you have diabetes after you've been rushed to the emergency room.
When I was diagnosed, I knew that I had it, and I didn't have time. I didn't have many options. I'm surprised I didn't even know that there was an option to screen for type 1 diabetes. We had just taken our daughter to the doctor. I'm like, did you test her for diabetes? Because I know that there's a higher chance of our children having it.
When there's someone in your family with type 1 diabetes, the child is up to 15 times more likely to test positive. The One Pledge is all about being screened now. We have the ability to get ahead of the game. People can know what could be in store for them.
I just want people to know that they do have the ability to take control, be their own advocate.
When it comes to type 1 diabetes, the more you know, the more you can do. So take the One Pledge and do more to take charge of your health and your families. I'm honored to be a spokesperson for Santa Fe and the One Pledge movement.
Let's give it up for Adam and Sherry for sharing their story. How much did you know about T1D before your experience with your wife?
I would say, Robin, that I knew virtually nothing. We entered into our relationship, started dating, and it was a whole new world for me, learning all about type 1 diabetes, as it is for so many people. When you enter this world, it's like learning a whole nother language. There's a whole language that goes along with it. But, as we said in the video, there's so much more that we can do today. You take the One Pledge, you get out in front, you test yourself, you test your loved ones, you screen them. You can get knowledge and information in advance, which a lot of people have not been able to do. You found out you had it before you could screen for it. My wife, the same way. But there are advantages today to take the One Pledge where you can now get screened, and you can know, and you can test the people that you love and care about most and be ahead of it if that's even possible.
Whether you have it or someone in your family has it, or like me, case where I have no familial connection and yet I am still living with this condition. This is something, T1D is something that a lot of us in the US and around the world have to contend with, and screening allows us to empower ourselves. It gives us runway before we have to make urgent medical decisions, and I think it's really, really important for us to essentially have that agency through the screening process, and then in talking to our doctors in what what is the right choice for us individually. I think it's time to introduce a very special guest. Times Square, are you ready for a special guest up on this stage? Like Adam, our VIP has a family experience with T1D. Let's hear about it. Oh, he is an incredible musician, philanthropist, and world-famous artist. Can you guess who it is yet? Somebody spilled the tea.
All right, everyone, please give a big New York welcome to Usher.
Woo! Thank you for being here.
Ghost on the beat is crazy.
What's up, Robin? How are
Good to
you?
see you.
Adam, what's up, man?
How you doing? It's great
All right.
to see you. Great to see you.
too. Yeah.
New York!
Man, this is crazy. Wow, look at that crowd. That's amazing. Adam, you standing up here with Robin?
It's all you, Usher. This is your show, buddy.
I won't make you do burpees or any kind of workout.
Yeah, man. Listen, I just want to thank you guys so much. You know, it's really an honor to be here today. And, man, this is a cause that has been very personal to me. My son and many, many, many other young people in this world live with type 1 diabetes. And, you know, I'm spreading the word that actually benefits all diabetes, not just type 1. Type 1 is actually something that has been a journey for me. But for all people who, you know, are now gaining information and understanding of what it is to live with type 1 and type 2 diabetes, it is a journey. It does take a village in order to get through that very, very complicated reality that yesterday's success is not today's reality, especially for adolescents. It's a very complicated experience, but one that I've grown confident in as I stand on this stage with you guys, and also to stand out here as a representative. But the one pledge is ultimately about information and opportunity for you to get ahead. Each and every person out there that's watching, what I'm hoping is that the movement that we are starting here is something that will resonate with the entire world. You understand what I'm saying? So that one pledge, everybody put one finger in the air right here, right? The one pledge is an opportunity for you to get ahead of the game, for you to be screened, to potentially start this journey in a positive and an optimistic direction. There's no shortage of empathy that I have for those who live with it, because I do. I don't have type 1 diabetes, but my child does. And each and every moment that I live with the anxiety of making certain that he's safe, making certain that my child has every bit of what they need in order to live and thrive and have an incredible life that does not prevent it because of his condition. So I'm just really happy, again, to be a part of the growing family that supports type 1 and type 2 diabetes. But more than anything, as I said, I hope that today we are starting a movement that is all about pledging for those who can have the information that they need. Put your one in the air one more time.
Woo!
If you haven't already, I want you guys to go to theonepledge.com and get engaged. I want you to take the pledge. I'd love for you to make certain that you are screened, your child is screened, to make certain that they know whether they have type 1. I mean, other than that, listen, I can go back and share a multitude of stories, but what I want to do is do more events like this that celebrate the reality of what it is. There should be no shame associated with type 1 or type 2 diabetes, but in many cases, young men and women are ashamed, and they have to hide this. And it's scary because they don't know what's happening with their bodies. They don't necessarily know that their future will be as bright as someone who does not have type 1 and type 2 diabetes. So, it is the gift to each and every person out here who lives with a family member who has type 1. It is the gift today to celebrate and let you know that you're not alone, that we are in this together. We are a growing family. We are a growing effort that I feel empathy for, but also to know that we're going to bring about change.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, Usher.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
And I think we have a video to share, a little bit more of that story.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
It doesn't matter what race, doesn't matter what age. It is a humanizing experience to be a parent who has a child that lives with diabetes. While I'm working, while I'm in front of a camera, I'm literally looking at my phone. I'm getting alerts. And in that moment, it's about this, it's not about this. Anytime you notice a decline in your child's energy, you're concerned. My child's energy just dropped and goes from being extremely energetic to just completely drained. You're trying to figure out what's going on, what's happening. You're filled with anxiety because you want to figure out what's gonna make them feel better and get them back to normal. My child was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. It is scary. There's only been a few times that I've had fear like that in my life. Everything changed. Screening is a blood test, and that blood test can recognize type 1 diabetes before any of the symptoms. Why not have as much information as you possibly can beforehand? If I had access and before these symptoms arrived, I could have been prepared. There is shock that will come with this reality of T1D. That doesn't have to be your reality. That's why we're here. That is the movement. Join me and take the One Pledge. Together, we can make a difference in the lives of those at risk for type 1 diabetes. I'm honored to be a spokesperson for Sanofi and the One Pledge movement.
More on the monitor. Okay.
Beautiful story.
Awesome.
All right, all right. I love you too. Man, we got a beautiful day right here, right? Something about being present in the moment and making certain that we understand and appreciate each and every breath that we take is one that is given by God above. And the fact that we are able to be here and do something that I feel is going to be majorly impactful for type 1 diabetes is important. But again, it's more important to be present. It's more important to make certain that we understand that united in this effort, we can actually begin to turn the attention to type 1 diabetes and hopefully find solution that begins to change the reality of what it is as we live with this I don't call it a disease, this disorder. As I'm having conversations today, I literally look on my phone and there's an alert once again. And I realize in that moment, I'm going to always be as happy as my saddest child, or either I'm going to always be concerned about them when they're not here with me, even in this moment right now. So I'm really humbled by the fact that I have each and every one of your support, each and every person's support out there who's going to pledge, who's going to take the One Pledge, and actually make this the type of movement that we need nationwide.
Yeah.
All right, Usher, it's so great to be with you here in Times Square today on this beautiful day. The energy here is amazing. You did a great job. It's clearly something that you're very passionate about from your film, and it's clear why.
Absolutely. So we all have a personal connection to T1D. I am living with T1D. Adam is married to someone living with T1D, and obviously Usher just shared really emotionally about his being a parent of someone living with T1D. Do you think, Usher, your personal journey, in thinking about it, what do you wish you had considered or known early on, at that inflection point, perhaps even before your child was diagnosed?
If there were things that may have been made available to me earlier that could have slowed down the process,
Right.
or maybe I would have understood how to begin to prepare mentally for it, it would have been helpful. The mental state that I was in, I was shocked, concerned first and foremost, but optimistic as any parent would be dealing with a child who has a disorder. But as you know, living with T1D is, as I said, it's an everyday journey.
Yep.
We're kind of going from moment to moment. We can have highs and lows, but it is finding the balance. And I'm not just saying it because I'm a Libra. I'm saying it's finding the balance and finding the community that supports. I say that I was very fortunate to have made acquaintance with others who live with this reality, and they helped usher me into this space. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, I think it's beautiful that, you're bringing this, obviously, this presence and this energy to the movement, but now we're widening the aperture of who feels supported, right? Because you're going to screen, you're going to take the one pledge, you're going to have access to information, you're going to talk to your doctor, and then you're going to see examples from multiple connection points of people who are not just surviving as an individual or as a family, but thriving. And I hope we are also injecting this community with a lot of hope.
Usher, I live this every day through my wife, Shari, having type 1, and I can say I know what it's like to feel helpless as you watch and wonder what it's like for that person to battle this every day. I'm wondering if it's a similar feeling for you, knowing that you can't live this for your child.
Yeah, it is. If you are a parent of a child, you obviously have a love for them that cannot be explained. You would want to take anything that would cause harm to them away. You would want to take some pressure off of them so that they can have just a little bit more happiness. So I would say that, that reality, that we are all in it together, it became vividly clear. Even though I don't have type 1 diabetes, I'm living with type 1 diabetes. So you understand this reality.
Yes.
Mother, son, husband,
Yep.
friend, daughter, family members, everybody, we're all in it together.
Absolutely.
Because of Shari's experience living with type 1, we made the decision early on that we were going to test our children for type 1 to make sure that they didn't have it. We believe that information is power.
Yeah.
In fact, that family history does impact your likelihood of having type 1. We wanted to be prepared. I know type 1 didn't run in your family, Usher, but once your child developed type 1, how important was it or is it for you to get your other children screened?
Well, again, we are a family unit, so we first and foremost started by taking classes together on what it was to manage diabetes and also to blood glucose levels, and understood what that dynamic is. So it is a pledge that I ask of all of my family members, not just my children, but all of my family members and any person that I come in contact with, because as you said, to be able to have that information and be engaged and understand preparation and maybe there are things that your physician can advise that might change the reality of what, the current situation as well as the long-term effects of this condition may offer.
So we could talk to Usher all day, but I know that live in Times Square, y'all are super excited to ask Usher some questions. What an unprecedented, unexpected experience that we get to have here with Usher today. Maddie from New York says, and I think actually this congratulations is from all of us. Congratulations on the halftime show, Usher. That's so
teenager. Tell us your story and what it was like when you found out your child had type 1 diabetes. Did you feel prepared? Did it worry you or your family?
I didn't know if it was something that I'd done wrong. I didn't know if there's a possibility that somewhere in my family's bloodline that there was a cause for this, because my grandmother was a type 2 diabetic. And as a child, I could remember assisting her. Go get my insulin. Draw my insulin. So I had some understanding or some comprehension of what it was to live with it, but not in a way that was, that would affect my child.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was shocked, and I wanted answers. I wanted to know if there is an end to this. I wanted to know if there was some way it was preventable. I wanted to know if there were options or things that could make my child's life as normal as possible, even though we were living with type 1 diabetes. I wanted to know how it might affect my child in other ways as a result of, my child's body's function not being able to supply this insulin. I just wanted more information. I wanted to know. I asked a million questions, had a million sleepless nights, because obviously when you first come home after being diagnosed, it's like you don't go to sleep actually ever. My insomnia went to another level. I was already bad as an artist. I don't sleep. But man, because you get that high in the middle of the night. And in the beginning, we weren't wearing a pump. So it was, hour on the hour, minute on the minute, pricking and checking, even in their sleep. So, and that's just a matter of worry. You're trying to figure out, you're looking at them, you're measuring where they are while they're still having this, normal childhood life while playing sports. I'm not looking at the game. I'm looking at my child and how they're reacting to each and every moment. I'm looking at the environment that, we're too hot. We need to get more water. We need snacks. I mean, it was great for everybody else because I brought snacks for everybody.
Snacks for everybody.
But my life, my perspective, it all changed. I was no longer living a life for myself. I'm really living my life for the benefit of making certain that my child could function and still feel normal and still feel accepted and not feel any idea of shame.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that.
Usher, Alex from Ohio
Okay.
wants to know, he says, I'm a parent too. I'm curious as a parent in particular, what is the hardest thing about being a dad with a child with this condition? How often are you thinking about your child and this condition and their day-to-day life, and how much does this condition seem to control your life and your thoughts?
It is the hardest part of my life. It is the most gratifying thing to know that I am an active father and I want to figure out a solution, but I don't necessarily have all the answers. That's the hardest part. The part that I can't explain to my child, why won't this go away? To look your child in the face and they're trying to figure out a solution to rationalize with what's happening to their body, and you don't have the answer. I don't have the answer. All I know is I'm in it with you. And I know I'm right here and we're in this together. So I'll stay up as long as I have to. I'll leave my phone on as long as I have to. I'll find as many solutions as I possibly can. I'll read as much literature as I can. I'll go wherever I need. I'll provide you with whatever you need. I'll be responsible when you aren't. I'll send you reminders when I know you're not paying attention. And I'll do whatever I have to do in order to be a support to you, because I know how hard it is to live with this on top of just being a child,
Yeah. Jack from Connecticut asks, everyone today is talking about the importance of time and having information early. You mentioned the shock a moment ago. Why would it have been helpful for you to have advance warning that your child was going to develop type 1?
maybe I could have prepared myself more. Maybe I could have, found some solution or either some medication or rather some philosophy that would have helped me to mentally be able to prepare him and also to mentally be able to prepare myself. Yeah, I just, you just kind of go back to this idea that, wow, I know that my child already has a really difficult time understanding life as a human being. One, I'm the child of a celebrity, so I have to deal with that. I'm a child who has, just natural ups and downs and trying to figure out the balance of my life. Children go through puberty. They're trying to figure out, how to create true balance when there is none yet, because they're still developing into young adults. And then on top of all of that, to be consistent in a time when you and I probably didn't necessarily have to think about that because our pancreas produced insulin and we could just roam freely and stay out late and do crazy things and eat crazy things. And yeah, it's an experience like none other. I can't. If I could try and categorize it, I wouldn't be able to. If I could try and explain to you the reality of what I'm feeling, even just in this moment, because my phone is not on me and I can't look down to make certain that my child's numbers is okay. It's that. I'm not even present, and it's hard because I want to be present even here with you, because this is very important for me and my child and for every other child. But that reality that you live with, it keeps you up. It makes you more alert than you ever would have been. There are blessings in it. There are blessings in the fact that you realize that there's a community of people who are supporting this effort and who are supporting the families who live with this reality.
Last, but certainly not least, Zach, all the way from Texas, wants to ask you, Usher.
Texas. What's up, homie?
From your personal experience, how has your child having this condition changed you as a father, as a musician, as a person, and what is the one thing you want all of us here to know today?
It made me a better man. It made me a more empathetic individual, so much so that I'm here. So much so that I've chosen to share this thing that may be represented as pain, but is an opportunity to bring clarity to those who may potentially need the support and the help that could change their experience with type 1 diabetes. The one thing that I would say is that nothing matters more than the happiness of my children. If I had to trade it all in, everything that I have versus the happiness for my children, I would trade it in for my children. I would want to make certain that I could be the best father to them, and for a multitude of reasons. One, I didn't have a father. I didn't have a father who was able to care for me in this way. It gave me purpose in a different way. If my passion and my life has led me to this place now 30 years later where I'm at the Super Bowl, I'm looking forward to the crescendo of this moment when my child doesn't have to worry about me sending Texas, which I'm going to still send Texas even when he's 40 years old if I'm still here, right? But I'm looking forward to the success of us doing this the right way together. And hopefully, as a result of what we're doing here today, there is more opportunity, there is more clarity about, living with type 1 diabetes, and maybe there's more solution that is instigated as a result of us having these conversations, and also to choosing to take that one pledge. The one thing that I leave with you is the fact that I urge you to go out, even you may or may not live with this reality, but at least express interest as a result of the empathy that you may have for me or any other person that you may know that may be potentially susceptible. I would tell each and every person at home, and the message is to go to theonepledge.com and pledge. Don't just go to the site and look at it. Go and pledge. Put your information in, and when you are given the opportunity to be screened, I would advise that you and your children screen yourselves to make certain that you can, as I said, be prepared.
Yep.
If this is your reality. Your reality is one that is supported by an incredible cast of people who love, appreciate you. Adam, thank you, man.
Usher.
Thank you, man. Robin, thank you. You're not just supporting, we're not just supporting this one moment, we're supporting each other. This is our community, and we grow something incredible in this moment, incredibly magical that begins to change our perspective and make this a priority, again, as a result of being empathetic for those who live with type 1 diabetes. I don't know you, I don't know where you are, but I'm with you. I love you. I'm fighting for you. You are a priority. You are number one to me, no matter where you are.
What is that? We want to thank everyone for all the great questions. And Usher, we know you've been talking about building this movement for a long time now, and we've heard you literally, and it was fantastic.
And we have been, with the help of our amazing dancers and choreographer, we have been teaching the One Pledge dance all morning. So some people already were saying that they slayed the choreo, so we'll see if that is a fact.
It's cold out here. You guys should
I think we
move.
got that
Do the
track coming
pledge.
up, right? Let's play the music.
The pledge dance, the challenge.
I think we got to clear
Hey,
the
I'm back. I'm back.
Woo!
Singing sexy music this time.
Really?
Nice to meet you. What are we doing? That was nice. Was that you, Galaxy?
It's like, was that the
Thank
music?
you.
Did we gonna do it too?
All right, so what are we getting back into this? Hey! They were waiting for
I
that.
didn't know it was-
They were
I thought that was the music that we were getting ready to do it too. I was like,
that's why I was like, oh, this is nice. So we getting back into this One Pledge? Y'all remember it? Are you learning it, or are we just doing it for you? Are you learning it, or are we just doing it for you?
I'm looking. All eyes
right.
on you.
All right, put your fingers in the air if you learned it already. Oh, look at y'all. Y'all been hanging out all morning. All right, so y'all remember, always return to that One Pledge, all right? Take the pledge. That's what this is representing. I like that. So am I doing it by myself? Oh. We got our folks, we got our ladies, we got Emphasis Entertainment. They in the audience, so if you need help, you got guides down there. I'll be facing you. Don't get confused. And here we go. Let's just try it. Y'all ready? You can freestyle around. Just be careful. It's tight
Ghost on
now.
the beat is crazy.
Give it a little, right? Y'all ready? Fingers in the air. 6, hey, 5, 6, 7, and hey, hey, let's go. Hey, 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 go. Hey, 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 roll the dice. Fingers, hey, shake it, drop it. Hey, 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 hey. Yes, let's do it again. Let's do it again.
Hard.
There you go, right there.
All right, everyone, look it up at the camera and greet the folks out there at home. Look up at the camera right there.
Let's
Give
capture
everybody a
this
greeting.
moment. Everybody put your ones up.
Woo!
Having ghosts on the beat is crazy.
Yes.
Woo!
Be proud of yourselves.
All right, I think we got our selfie moment now.
I think this is the phone they gave me. Ready?
Am I in this?
And you know what? I'm gonna try something real quick. You guys, we're gonna do a selfie together. Is that all right?
Hey!
Hey! Make some noise one time. Take it long. If I can do it that way. You got your ones up?
Yeah, they got it.
There it is.
Yeah.
Great job.
I love that Usher was just giving us options with all the angles, honey. Okay?
All right. So, really, really happy. Just want to say one more time, this is really incredible. And I'm so glad that so many of you guys came out here in support here in New York, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Everybody on the sidewalk over there, make some noise one time. And everybody at home for getting involved and really being a part of this movement. This is a movement that I believe in. This is a movement that is a part of something that is important in my life. Not the only thing that is important, but one major moment. This one pledge. This is a moment to be remembered. When you leave, take this with you. Just ask one person, per day if you can, for 1 week for me, all right? To take the one pledge. Go to onepledge.com and get screened. If it's somewhere in your mind at some point, because we've had this moment together, you learned to dance, we talked about it, we took a picture together, we had a conversation. We froze together because I'm cold. But we're together. We're together. Birthday shout out. Happy birthday to all my Scorpios out here. Yeah. One time for all of my Scorpios. Y'all make some noise. Happy birthday, you guys. Thank you guys so much. Everybody at home, thank you. Let's take this pledge.